Good evening, everyone. Sorry, I'm just a minute late or so. My camera didn't want to connect the right way. You guys are all crooked, so hopefully this is all looking the way it's supposed to look to you guys. Welcome to another Make It With Me Monday. This is number 61, if you can believe that. This time is just flying right by. I cannot believe that we are at the end of April already. Kind of crazy. Shout out to two of my nephews who are having birthdays today. My eldest one is turning 25 today, so happy birthday, Harley. And one of my younger ones, Alex, is turning 9, so happy birthday, boys. I hope you're having a great day. Alrighty, let me show you. Hi, Mary Lynn, good to see you tonight. Let me show you some things of what I'm going to be working with tonight. Since we are nearing the end of the annual catalog, I'm going to be focusing a lot the next couple weeks just from this mini catalog because we know for sure all of these items are still available. This runs through the end of June. There shouldn't be any issues with things being, out of stock and finalized and all that kind of stuff. So going back to focus on this lovely mini catalog. Let's see here. So I'm going to be using everything for my sentiments tonight is from Happy and Heartfelt. And then I've used several different sets to create the rest of my images and stuff from my samples. And everything I said, like I said, is from that January to June mini catalog. Once I post the video and all the samples, there will be descriptions and links and numbers and everything to show you where all those items can be found in that big catalog. Speaking of the next big catalog, I hope you guys have started to receiving that. If you don't have something, probably by the middle to the end of this week, let me know so I can make sure and get you a copy sent out in the mail. All right, let's see what we need for tonight. We are going to start with a card base that is 5.5 by 8.5, and you're going to want to score that at 4 1/4. And you want an ink pad to match. So I'm going to be using Highland Heather. You want a piece of neutral that is 3.5 by 4 3/4. You wanted some ribbon that's up to 1/2 inch wide. I'm going to be using this petal pink ribbon that comes in a bundle together with some Misty Moonlight. So they're both a little skinnier. Oh, good, Maryland. I'm glad they're starting to get out to you guys. This is a cotton ribbon combo pack. It comes with petal pink and Misty Moonlight. So I'll be using the petal pink one today. You want to have a phrase that's about 1.5 to 2 inches wide, and there'll be a variety of them that I use tonight, and again, they're all coming from Happy and Heartfelt. And then you want to have 3 shapes that you've either stamped and fussy cut or die cut or punched out or something like that, and they should be about 1 inch to 1.5 inches wide. I took 3 pieces of Designer Series paper from the Sweet Talk Designer Series papers, and I cut out 3 hearts using the Sweet Talk dies. And I'm going to be showing you guys how this particular set, you look at it and you think it's for Valentine's Day, but really any occasion that's all about love will totally suffice for this combination of products. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. If you have to do any stamping or anything on these shapes, go ahead and start with that now. You can always catch up on the main section in a little bit. One of the other stamps I said to have ready was something you could use repetitively as a background. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a background on our card base that's going to be tone on tone. So I'm going to go ahead and give that a good crease. So I have my Highland Heather ink and my Highland Heather, there we go, cardstock. And I'm going to take some stamps from Sweet Conversations. I'm going to be using these 3 solid heart images. And you can see the dies I used fit some of these other heart shapes. So you can stamp and then die cut, or you can die cut from Designer Series papers. There's quite a variety going on there. All right, so I'm going to take those 3 little hearts. I'm going to show you, eventually this piece is going to get layered over this. So you don't necessarily have to go straight to the middle when you're doing this repetitive background, but make sure that you're in far enough that it's going to get covered up by your neutral rectangle. So hopefully that makes sense. One of the tricks to getting a really good idea of a random background is to just keep turning your cardstock as you're stamping. Make sure you stamp all the way off because that's going to give it a more finished look. So like I said, just keep turning that stamp or your cardstock around in different directions. Like I said, you want to get just a variety going here. I think I'm going just a little bit further on that one. And try not to get too much into a pattern because the idea of this is that it's supposed to be random. I just want to fill in a little space there and maybe a little off the edge there. Okay, I think that's gonna be pretty good. Okay, so go ahead and set that aside and pop this over right away and make sure that you've got what you need. So you can see I've got pretty good coverage. You can't see where anything's, like if it was this part a little bit more, there would feel like there was empty holes here. So just make sure that you've got that all filled in the way you like it. Okay, and that's all you need to do for your background piece. So you can go ahead and close that up. Now we're gonna build this from about 2/3 up towards the bottom. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stamp my phrase. I'm gonna take my Petal Pink ink pad. I wanted to bring in some of the Petal Pink because it's in that designer series paper I was using, and it's the ribbon color I'm using. So I wanna have some of that showing. And I'm gonna use the stamp that says, I heart you. It's actually a little heart drawn in. And forgive my over the top head. I wanna make sure I'm getting this kind of straight. So do your phrase, maybe about 2/3 of the way up. And you can decide if you want that more centered. I kind of liked having it go off the right edge a little bit. Then we are going to go ahead and we're going to take that ribbon and we're just going to do a little bit across and tucked onto the back. So you can just cut off a length that's just a little longer than your 3.5 inch wide piece, and grab some glue dots or even just regular old Scotch tape. We'll hold those ends down for you. So I'm going to go ahead and use my glue dots tonight. One on each end of my ribbon. Make sure I have the same side going. There we go. It felt like it flipped over in my hand for a second. All right, I'm gonna go all the way under. I know my Y drops down a little bit, so I'm gonna go make sure I'm all the way under my I heart you. I suppose I could go in there, but I think I like it lower. All right, so hold one side, tuck back there, make sure you're nice and straight going across. Helps if you actually push on the glue dot to make it get attached. All right, and then going back to the other side and just secure that glue dot in place. Okay, so now you have your ribbon going across. Now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna add our 3 shapes. Now you can start in the middle and work your way out, or you can do vice versa. Depending on how big these are, they can overlap or they can just sit next to each other. I'm gonna make mine overlap a little bit and meet in the middle, kind of like that. You can have, depending on how your shapes work, you can have them tucked up and under your ribbon a little bit. If you have just something like circles or a fun regular shape, if you want them to be seen above the ribbon, you can go ahead and add some above and some below, just like this one. So you could do something like that. You can have them all be below. So quite a bit of variety depending on what you guys have chosen for your hearts. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna adhere 2 of them down flat, and then I'm gonna pop one up on a dimensional, which of course I've managed to leave back on the other side of my table. I could have sworn I had everything over here. All right, now that I have my dimensionals in place. Okay, so let's go ahead and add some adhesive to these guys. And whoop. Okay, so I'm going to do one right about there. And then I'm going to leave about the same border over here. Like that. Then I'm going to go ahead and take my last one. A couple of dimensionals on him. And I'll put him in the middle. You can choose then also if you want to pop up this entire panel onto your card base, or if you're going to want to, I think I'm going to move him over just a tiny bit. There we go. All right, that looks a little more centered to me. Then you can decide too if you want to glue or attach your neutral piece directly flat to the card, or if you want to pop it up at that point. All right, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm just going to put mine down flat. Sometimes I do like to go back over these tails of adhesive, or tails of ribbon, with my adhesive, just as a little extra security to make sure that those are down. All right, and then we're just going to attach that to our card front. So this is pretty basic and pretty simple. You can go ahead from this point too and add other embellishments if you like. All my other samples I added like pearls or dots or rhinestones or something to fill in some of the white and add a little bit of bling. So I'll go ahead and show you guys what that looks like. Let me just move my ink pads off to the side, otherwise I'll end up sticking my hand in something. I did that earlier. I dropped one and I had to catch it, and I have a new ink color all over myself here. So speaking of that new ink color, here's what I did using the flowers come from the Hello Ladybug stamp set, actually. Thank you again is from the Happy and Heartfelt. I used, oh no, I'm sorry, not Ladybug, Hello Beautiful. The flowers and the background shape come from Hello Beautiful. And I used 2 of our new incoming in colors. I'm just gonna push him off to the side a little bit. So this is Sweet Sorbet, and this is Parakeet Party. Now, if you already have some of our current colors, I'll show you a little bit of a color comparison. So for example, this is Real Red. So you can see this one goes a little more like orangey, I would say. And then this is Granny Apple Green. And you can see that one's a lot brighter. This is more of like, if you remember a couple of years ago, we had a lemon lime twist. And that one feels a little more that direction for me, if you were familiar with that color. So here's our Real Red and our Granny Apple Green were a really pretty combo. This Sweet Sorbet and Parakeet Party are gonna be a really great combo as well. So love, love, love it. And it also, each of those colors in the ink colors come with in a metallic ribbon. That is just so, so, so cute. And little matching dots. So this is some of the new product that's coming out. I did use the circle shape from I forgot to write down the shapes. Anyway, Hello Beautiful stamp set comes with a set of matching shapes. There's circles, there's hexagons, different things. So I took one of those circles and then I stamped it full of the little flowers. And those guys are just tucked across there. Alrighty. Then I took from, oh, excuse me, my goodness. Okay, from Amazing Silhouettes, I used one of the big stamps for the background. So it doesn't show a lot through, but it has just enough of a hint of a pattern around. It's going to be easier to see in that, in the photos once I post them. And then I used the Sprig Punch, some of the in color dots in the evergreen color. And I have a combination of the Espresso Suede ribbon and the Early Evergreen ribbon there as well. So I went a little bit more with the ribbon on that one, a little less with the pieces here, and then again a couple of dots to finish it off. All right, then this time it is from the Ladybug collection. I have the flowers come from Hello Ladybug, and this is actually 3 pieces of the wings that you punch out with the Ladybug punch. So 3 pieces of that go together and make a flower. And then I used again one of the little circles from that die set. And then this little tiny image comes in there as well. So I made 3 bigger flowers. And so again, it's like some of these are progressing in size. So we've got a little bit smaller. This is kind of a medium size. These are larger. So you can do kind of a lot with these, this kind of concept. And again, in the 3s, you could spread it out into more of a triangle, that visual triangle concept. All right, I'm going to push these over here and show you the stepped up version of what I did here. I took, instead of the dies, I used the heart punch and just really made that a much bolder, bigger option. I added texture to the white layer with the stripes embossing folder that comes in the spots and stripes. I added some pearls. I added the same ribbon, but I have a little bow in addition, and one more little layer right behind the white that just pops it up a little bit. So I've got a basic black layer there that just pops that white piece off the background just a little bit more. But otherwise, it's exactly the same. So same color palette, same designer series paper, just a larger piece. Same ribbon. I changed the phrase, but that comes from the exact same set. And again, the random hearts for the background. All right, so let me get these all back into place for you. There's those 3 and those 2. So I really do love this Happy and Heartfelt stamp set. You've got lots of great options for a variety of occasions, and I love the fonts. They're so cute. This would cover a lot of great occasions for you guys. And it's another one if you watched or saw a card I posted the other day where I used a phrase repetitively to really bring focus to it. This is another great one for this. You could take your congratulations or your whatever and just stamp it a bunch of times down, and you're really focusing on that phrase as opposed to just having it appear once. So different way to get a different focal point would be to use those guys instead of an image. All right, everybody, thank you very much for joining me tonight. I hope you guys have a really great rest of your week, and it would be really nice if it would decide to be spring officially. We had 80 degrees here on Saturday, and we're back down, I believe it's under 50 degrees today here in the Madison area. So I am hoping that spring can finally make an appearance really soon. All right, I will get this video uploaded and the samples posted. And if you did any of them tonight with me, go ahead and share right away. Or if you're watching this later, show me what you guys have made. I want to see what you picked out for papers and shapes and inks and all that great stuff. All right, everybody, have a great evening. I'll see you next Monday. Bye now.